What's up, Tailgaters? My name is Tailgate Nate. Welcome back to my channel. And it is the second to last week in the Big Ten season. First off, I just want to say I'm sorry that this video is late. I just didn't get home in time, but, that's all good. It'll just come. I'm assuming an hour and a half late, so no big deal. So, still got it out today. But today I am bringing you my Week 7 predictions for the Big Ten season. Some pretty interesting ones this week. But first, let's take a look at how my predictions fared last week. By far my worst week of the season. I was 2-3 with my predictions, which makes my overall record 23-13. Now that still overall is a winning record, but not quite where I wanted it to be after this week. Of course, there were some upsets, which I don't think a lot of people could have predicted. This week, I hope to be back on track. Not going to speak too much about this game because I mentioned on Tuesday in my Power Rankings video that it was going to be canceled. Northwestern Wildcats and the Minnesota Golden Gophers will not play because of positive tests within the Minnesota program. Again, they had to cancel yet another game. So these two teams, again, will not see the field. We hope they can both get back on the field rather quickly. But because of this, this is something I did not mention on Tuesday, Northwestern has pretty much sealed themselves a spot in that Big Ten championship game. So congratulations to Northwestern. They're moving on to Indianapolis. Now, another game that did get canceled was the Maryland and Michigan game. Michigan has been dealing with some positive tests, so now that makes Maryland ineligible for the Big Ten championship game. Not like they were going to get there anyway, but now ineligible. Michigan, on the other hand, sees their first cancellation of the season, and now they can ruin Ohio State's season in an entirely different way if they decide not to go forward with the game on December 12th. We'll have to see if Michigan can get back on the field. As an Ohio State fan, I always love playing Michigan, even though there is, of course, that bitter rivalry there. I always like playing Michigan because we get to beat the crap out of them every year. Michigan fans, don't come at me, but no, I always like playing Michigan. I really do hope they can get back on the field for Ohio State's sake and for Michigan's sake. Sorry, a little Ohio State fan bias there, but this game sees cancellation. But out of the games that are happening, there are no games going on tomorrow. However, there are going to be 5 games on Saturday, and it starts off with the Ohio State Buckeyes, who as of right now look like they are going to get back on the football field. Ryan Day will not be coaching due to COVID protocols. However, Ohio State will be shorthanded some players for this game and the Michigan game if it gets played. However, they are still a 23.5-point favorite, with the over and under being 59.5 as they are playing the Michigan State Spartans. All lines and odds are as of recording this video. This game is at noon o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be played on ABC. Not really a high-stakes game, although I think a lot of people are thinking that if Ohio State loses this game, then they're done. They're not making the playoff, and I necessarily don't see it that way. However, this game is not one that you're going to want to lose, and it's one that I don't think Ohio State is going to lose. In my opinion, Michigan State had a fluky performance against Northwestern. They actually held on to the football. Now, their defense is still solid, which I think will show up in this game, especially since Ohio State is going to be understaffed and is just going to be experiencing a little bit of, but again, feeling like they're shorthanded. However, this Michigan State offense, when it plays out its usual, it can't hold on to the football. Now, we didn't see that against Northwestern. I believe it was just either one interception or one fumble, but it was still a turnover. Now, of course, Michigan State is playing some better football. Maybe Michigan State will clean up their act this one as well. However, I don't see Ohio State being as easy or seeing to be as easy to beat as that Northwestern team was. It might help that they get it at home again, but I still believe that Ohio State is going to walk away with a victory here in this one. Nebraska and Purdue are going to face each other. This was supposed to be the first game of the season for these two teams. Now it's their second to last, and it's not really that big of a game like we thought it would be if it was played earlier in the season. This game is at noon Eastern Standard Time on the Big Ten Network. Purdue sees themselves as only a 2-point favorite which I feel like I would have put the line a little bit higher. I might have Purdue favored here by like 6 or 7 points, but the over and under is going to be 62.5. So a lot of offense expected. The question will be who starts at quarterback for Nebraska. It's been McCaffrey the past 2 games, and then in the Iowa game, their last game, Adrian Martinez came and started. I don't have a problem with either quarterback. I still think that Luke McCaffrey is better than Adrian Martinez. Well, when you look at Purdue here, the same question goes. Who is going to start at quarterback? Both times that Jack Plummer has started at quarterback, they've lost. So maybe they go back to Aiden O'Connell, or maybe they dig in deeper with a guy like Elijah Sinlar, someone like that. It's going to be interesting to see the quarterback play, but I just think that Purdue has too many offensive playmakers, while Nebraska's defense might just be a tad, just a little bit better. I think Purdue's got too much offense, and it's why I'm going to give Purdue the win here in this one. Purdue has had 2 very difficult losses, one that shouldn't have been given to them at all, and another one that they honestly just could have won, but they let it slip away. While Nebraska, coming off a great performance against Iowa, they're going to play a good game in this one. I don't feel like it's going to be good enough. I feel like Purdue's going to come out angry and wanting to get back into that win column. That's why I think Purdue improves to 500 in this game. Third and final noon game of the Big Ten slate this week features the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now, you might be saying, well, Penn State should easily win this one, and that is not necessarily the case in the preseason. Of course, Penn State wins this one. It's like an automatic win. But Rutgers is playing some good football, coming off a big win against Purdue, a really, really nice win for the Rutgers program, while the Nittany Lions are coming off their first win of the season. This game, as I mentioned, is on at noon Eastern Standard Time, and you can find this on Fox Sports 1. Now, Penn State, of course, like I just mentioned, coming off the win, they played some really sound, good team football in that win. Rutgers played a really great second half against Purdue, and they were able to come back and win the game due to that offensive explosion that they had. Now, Penn State find themselves as the 11.5-point favorite, with the over and under being 52.5. And in my opinion, that's too much. I feel like Penn State should maybe be favored here by say, I don't know, 8 or 9 points. I think 11 might be just a little bit too much, but I do think Penn State is going to win the game. Now, I know that Rutgers is playing well, and I know that Penn State has not looked the best this year, but I just feel like Penn State is going to have momentum coming out of the win, and I feel like they're a better team than people are giving them credit for right now. Remember that 1-5? I mean, Penn State has just played some good teams. First off, some of those losses are to Ohio State and Indiana, who are, in my opinion, the best 2 teams in the Big Ten this year. However, when you look at the rest of the losses, they just haven't shown up. Now, the rest of the Penn State schedule is very winnable for them, and I am giving them the win here. I just feel like they're overall a way more talented team than people are giving them credit for. And while I feel like Rutgers may have the experience and might be able to come away with what is quote-unquote going to be an upset, I still feel like that Penn State is going to come out of the gate ready, eating off of momentum from that last win, and I think the Nittany Lions are going to get their second win of the 2020 season. The first game on at 3:30 features the 19th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes, who jumped 5 spots from last week's college football playoff poll. This game, as I just mentioned, is going to be at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. And this one is also going to be on Fox Sports 1. Iowa's going to face the Illinois Fighting Illini, who, when I mentioned this in the power ranking video, I feel like Iowa's going to drop one of their last 2 games. Now, I don't know that it's going to be this one, although Illinois is coming off 2 wins, coming off the cancellation. They're going to want to get back on the field, and they're also getting people back like Brandon Peters, that starting freshman tight end as well. Iowa does find themselves 13.5-point favorite for good reason. They've been playing great on both sides of the football. The one position I think Iowa is lacking is a good, true number 1 receiver. They thought Amir Smith-Marset could get them there, which I still believe he kind of is. However, he has not played as well as people have hoped him to play. Meanwhile, Illinois, again, they're starting to build momentum, started out 0-3, not looking too great. Now all of a sudden they're 2-3, could boost to 500 with an upset win. Now, am I picking the upset? Of course not. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Iowa is playing too well on both sides of the football. And while I feel like Illinois is a sneaky good team, I feel like they're a better team than people give them credit for, just like with Penn State. I feel like Iowa, again, is just playing too well on both sides of the ball. They're a 13.5-point favorite for a reason. I know I say that a lot about a lot of teams. However, it really shows out here. Iowa, one of the better defenses in the Big Ten, and their offense is starting to find a rhythm as the season goes on. Spencer Petras has played he has exceeded my expectations as a young freshman. Illinois, I think, is going to keep this game closer than most people are going to expect, but I do think Iowa is going to walk out of Champaign with a nice win. Now to the game of the week. This game is going to be at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time on ABC. I know I'm running through these games a little quicker, but keep in mind I talked about a cancellation earlier, and there was another game canceled, but I apologize if this feels quicker to anyone. Wisconsin and Indiana. This is a very, very big game for both teams. Wisconsin more than likely is going to get, Wisconsin is going to get that number 2 spot Wisconsin is going to get the number 2 spot in the Big Ten West, which means they're going to face the number 2 team from the East, which could be Ohio State or it could be a rematch against Indiana. It decides on if the Michigan-Ohio State game gets canceled, decides on the Big Ten. Even if that game gets canceled, says, hey, everyone else in that side has 2 losses, saying that Wisconsin wins here, Indiana loses somewhere else down the road, whatever have you. That's going to be a whole other mess to figure out that the Big Ten will, I'm surely, screw up. However, focusing on this game right now, Wisconsin finds themselves 14-point favorite. I don't think they would be this favorite if Michael Penix was playing. Michael Penix now down for the rest of the season with a torn ACL, which is an absolutely huge loss for the Indiana Hoosiers. Not expected to be a high-scoring game. Only 45 points is that over and under, mainly because Wisconsin is a great defensive team. Indiana has a solid defense as well. And also most of that offense for Indiana was driven through Michael Penix. Now, we saw their running game explode last week. It was their highest running production game by far. However, I don't know that the wide receivers are going to be great with the backup quarterback. I cannot think of his name right now. I apologize, Indiana fans and Big Ten fans alike. But I don't think the offense is going to flow as well through him as it would through Michael Penix. For those reasons, I am going to predict Wisconsin is going to get the win here. It'll be Indiana's second loss of the season, and then everyone besides Ohio State in the East will have 2 losses. I might do a video on what that means, but probably not. Maybe, possibly, but I do not guarantee it. Wisconsin, my opinion, is going to get the W just like their logo because I feel like they're a better defensive team, and with Michael Penix, if they can stop the run game, then being able just to stop the sheer talent and domination of the wide receivers, Wisconsin has an absolutely fantastic shot to win this game, and I definitely see why they're favored by 14 points. Yes, I know Indiana is not at full strength, and Indiana is so good when they are at full strength, but I do believe that Wisconsin is going to win the Big Ten game of the week due to a short-handed Indiana. Now, I am going to say that if Indiana had Michael Penix, I might pick them to win. This game was going to be really close if Michael Penix is going to play. Now I think Wisconsin, while Indiana might be able to stay with him for a little bit, I think Wisconsin's defense will figure out whatever Indiana and Tom Allen has planned, and they're going to be able to get the win yet again in the Big Ten game of the week. All right, that is going to do it for my Week 7 preview and predictions for the Big Ten season. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up on this video. Also, please do consider subscribing. A lot of you that watch my videos are not subscribed, which what are you doing? So please hit that subscribe button, answer that notification bell so you can join Tailgate Nation. Also leave a comment down below. I always love hearing your guys' thoughts and opinions for the most part. And please share this video with everyone you know and try and grow the channel as big as possible. So it would mean a lot if you could share this video with anyone who likes college football or Big Ten football. Or, hey, if you're trying to get them in the football, please share this video with everyone you know who likes Big Ten football, college football as much as you and me. Remember to play hard but tailgate harder. I will see all of you guys with a couple videos on Sunday. My Ohio State fan reacts to, and also my Week 7 review. See you on the next one. Goodbye.